When you think of the Samsung Galaxy phones, what do you think of? Galaxy phones have always been the epitome of the name iPhone killer. Many phones have tried to claim that title, but the Galaxy line has always seemed to be the closest to actually doing it. Throughout the years, Samsung Galaxy S phones have been taking what the iPhone does and trying to up-one them. This year is no different. This past September, Apple released their brand new iPhone lineup, including the brand new, sorta budget iPhone XR. So, what's Samsung gonna do? Well, they're gonna one-up them, of course. They released their version of the budget flagship, the Samsung Galaxy S10e. This is our review of the Samsung Galaxy S10e. We're gonna give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's get started. Let's start off with the good. The Galaxy S10e is a beautifully designed phone. It's, of course, all glass and metal, just like the previous models, but with one difference: no curved edge screen. Even though you might love the way Samsung phones look with the edge, when you hold the phone, it feels so much better and easier to hold. In fact, I love the way this phone feels. The size is just perfect. I have been so used to holding large phones that when you go back to actually holding something that's usable like this phone, it just feels so natural. It's so easy to use one-handed. It's just a joy. You of course have a USB-C port, and Samsung decided to again keep the 3.5mm headphone jack, which is great news. You still have the Bixby button on the left, but here's the good news. Samsung finally lets you reprogram the button to open up another app or run a quick command, which finally makes this button usable. The screen on this phone is just like all the other Samsung Galaxy phones. It's beautiful. It's a 5.8-inch 1080p AMOLED display, and even though this one only has a 1080p display compared to the regular Galaxy S10 or the Galaxy S10 Plus with its 1440p display, it's hardly noticeable. The display is bright, colorful, and it still beats out any other display on the market, in my opinion. The punch hole cut out for the camera up front, well, it's there, but I actually find myself noticing it far less than I did with the notch on other phones. So even though I didn't think I would like it, I actually prefer it much more. The fingerprint sensor is on the right side of the phone, implemented in the power button, which I have to say works so well. It's so fast and accurate, and I rarely have problems with it reading my fingerprint. Another difference with this phone, when comparing it to the regular S10, is the camera. Instead of the 3 camera sensors out back, you get a dual camera setup. It has a wide and ultra wide sensor out back, and it's missing the telephoto lens that the regular S10 has. But other than losing that feature, this camera is just the same. It still takes very vibrant shots. Photos can come out a little oversaturated at times, but the amount of shooting options the camera app has can easily make up for that. In Pro mode, for example, you can adjust the aperture from 1.5 to 2.4. You can adjust the color temperature, the ISO, and brightness levels. There's just so many customization options available right in the camera app. So the amount of customization you're able to do is incredible. But even out of the box, you're still without a doubt going to be happy with the shots this phone takes. It takes some beautiful pictures. The phone comes with fast charging and wireless charging right out of the box. And you also have the nifty new feature of power share, which allows you to turn your Galaxy S10e into a Qi wireless charger. It's more of a gimmick than an actual useful feature. First of all, because it charges the other device so slow. And second, because you can't use your device. You can't use the Galaxy S10e while this is happening. You have to just leave it there, letting it wirelessly charge your friend's device. One UI is cool, but it's still a little reminiscent of Samsung's previous UI. But the phone does feel much faster and smoother than previous models, and that may have to do with the new Snapdragon 855 chip this phone comes with. The battery life. The battery life is just great, which was actually a little surprising to me. When I saw this phone only had a 3100 milliamp hour battery, I thought for sure this phone is going to struggle getting through a full day. But Samsung has done some great job on tweaking their software to make you get as much as possible from that battery. In my experience, I could easily get a full day with this phone. No problem. Now let's get to the bad. Let's start with the Bixby button. And I know I just said how great it was and how it's awesome that you can now just reprogram that button to open up another app. But the button placement is just so annoying. Whenever I'm trying to lower the volume on the phone, I accidentally hit it. When I'm trying to unlock the phone, since the button is exactly where my index finger would be when my thumb hits the power button, I accidentally hit it. In fact, I've probably hit this button more times accidentally than I've actually used it. It's just in a weird spot, sort of in the middle, but a little bit above the middle of the phone. My message to Samsung for the Galaxy S11, move that button down so it's farther away from the volume button. Also, the out-of-the-box software defaults, some of them are just dumb. For example, the always-on display is set to tap to show out of the box. What's the point of having an always-on display if the display isn't always on? It just doesn't make sense to me. Another one is lock screen notifications. They are by default set to icons only. And even though some of you may like that, for me it's just kind of dumb. I prefer to actually be able to look at my notifications without having to unlock my phone instead of just having an icon there. But that may be personal preference, and this is literally nitpicking because this phone is so great, I have a hard time finding things wrong with it. But that now brings me to the last point, the ugly. Samsung has to do something about the face unlock feature on their phones. This technology is just so bad. It's almost laughable. It seems like they just put this feature in their phones just to say that it has it, because it's just ridiculously horrible. First of all, it can be really slow at times recognizing your face. When you compare it to the Face ID on the iPhone, it's nowhere near as fast and accurate. I have to sometimes move the phone around to try to get a better angle of my face. But secondly, and probably the most important part, is that the security is useless. I literally took a selfie of myself on my iPhone and unlocked my Galaxy S10e with that selfie. That's how bad this face unlock feature is. In other words, don't even bother using it. At $750, this phone is definitely challenging the iPhone XR, which is at the same price point, by the way. But a case can be made that this phone offers much more than the iPhone XR does. If you're looking for a smaller phone that really doesn't skimp on all the flagship features, or if you're looking to save a couple $100 but still want a flagship phone, then the Galaxy S10e is definitely worth taking a look at. What do you think of the Galaxy S10e? Let me know with a comment down below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, it really helps. And please subscribe for more tech news and reviews. Thanks for watching.